But let's come on over. I have my cushy mats down. I have my blanket down. So come on over and take a seat. And remember, quiet your surroundings. A big part of yoga for overwhelm is getting rid of the outside world and really focusing into how your heart is beating and how your breath is coming to you and how your body feels as it sits on the ground. So try to lessen the stimuli and just be quiet. Sitting in easy pose, or you can stretch your legs out. You can sit on your knees. You can sit in a chair. Just sit with a nice tall spine and bring your hands face down on your lap. And let's just start off by taking a few slow open mouth exhales. Overwhelm. When that to-do list is never ending and you can't figure out where to begin, you come and you sit and you breathe. Let's take 3 more open mouth exhales. Maybe you're already feeling the tension leave your neck and shoulders. And 1 more. And then drop your eyes closed if they're not already. And if you don't want to close your eyes, look down at the ground in front of you. And one of my true tricks of fighting the overwhelm in any given moment, even if you're driving, even if you're at work, even if you're in the grocery store waiting in line, or maybe you're a brain surgeon about to cut someone open, there is this place where you can just drop your awareness to your body. Notice how you're breathing. Notice the places where your body is touching the ground or the floor or the mat. And bring a feeling of becoming anchored to the ground for a moment. Getting heavy through your limbs, getting heavy through your sit bones. And let's come to a breath practice here. A way to focus the mind on the task at hand. Very simple box breathing. I'll count for us. We're going to inhale for 4. And then hold the breath in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale smoothly, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then hold the breath out, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. And hold. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe deeply in. Sigh it out. Just notice if that brought a sense of physical calm to the body. Even in just a few short rounds of that breath, you can really focus on what's in front of you. Lengthen up through the crown of your head, drop your shoulders down, and slowly tuck your chin to your chest. And then let's follow the breath here again. Simple nod of the head, yes. So as you inhale, face lifts, lead with the chin, look up only as far as the neck is comfortable. And exhale, lead with the chin, drop the chin to the chest. Inhale, lead with the chin, lift the face up, eyes can still be closed. And exhale, lead with the chin, drop the chin to the chest. Let's take 3 more, focusing on the breath and the slow, easy movement. As you exhale and tuck the chin in, let your contact points where you're touching the ground become a little heavier, a little more anchored. Inhale, lift up, lead with the chin. And exhale, tuck it in. Go with your pace, 3 more rounds. And 1 more. And bring the head back to neutral. And just a time or two, take a little neck roll one way, then the other. And now we'll come into child's pose. So the breath practices that we just did, the moving of the head, the dropping down into the body, you can really do those anywhere. Child's pose, you'd really want to do this somewhere private. I'm guessing, even though I have seen that meme where the lady drops down in the Target aisle and says, hey, my yoga teacher says I can take child's pose anytime I want. Child's pose is only comfortable if your knees are comfortable being very bent. And if they're not, just I invite you to lay down flat on your belly on the ground and then bring your hands in front of you. But child's pose, knees can be together or very wide apart, just depending on how you want to drape over your legs. And so my knees are wide apart, and I'm going to reach my hands forward and forehead to the ground. If forehead to the ground is not possible for you in this position, you can even come up a little, come down to forearms and maybe hold your head in your hands. Or again, you have that option of just laying flat down on the ground and bring your forehead to your hands in front of you. And we're going to take about 10 quieting breaths here in child's pose. This is a great pose to make the world smaller. So try to really listen to the sound of your breath here, expanding into the belly, expanding into the waist, expanding into the back of your ribs and your shoulders. And the exhale, again, really feel where you are touching the ground with the tops of your feet, with your legs, with your arms, with your forehead. Slow and easy inhales and exhales, just continually grounding the body and allowing your mind to focus in on the sound of your breath and where your body is touching the ground. And about 8 more rounds here in child's pose.
Feel the sense of quiet. And if your thoughts run away from you, as they might, just bring it back to the breath. And you can even count the breath as I was before, inhaling for 4 and exhaling for 6. And you can just keep counting. And then if your mind runs off, you bring it back to counting. You just repeat that process until your brain listens. 5 more breaths. Next inhale, you'll come up, tabletop position. And another forward fold here, puppy pose. So hips will stay above the knees. Hands walk out to the front of the mat. And you drop down. Forehead can come toward the earth so the hips stay up over the knees. And it creates this little bit of a feeling of being upside down. You can bring forehead, forearms, or chin to the earth, just depending on your reach here. And come back to the breath. And notice all of the places that your body is touching the ground. Feel anchored and steady there. And next inhale, coming up, find your tabletop and coming back into moving with the breath here. We'll take a few rounds of cat-cow. So before we start to move, fingers stretched out as wide as they'll go. Press the palms into the earth, grip the mat a little and feel the palms come away a little. Soften your elbows, draw your shoulders back and down, really trying to make these micro corrections in the body. Lengthen it through the tailbone. Try to bring the spine nice and long. Knees are a little wider than your hips. Notice where the knees, shins, tops of the feet are pressing into the earth. And let your breath lead you. When your inhale starts, belly drops down, heart and hips lift, look up. When the exhale starts, start to curl and round, tailbone tucks in, chin tucks in, press the ground away. When the inhale starts, find your cow pose, nice and slow. And exhale, curl and round. I invite you to close your eyes. We'll take about 10 rounds here. Listen to your breath. and let it lead you. Like I said, when the inhale starts, you move to cow pose. When the exhale starts, you move to cat, and try to move with the wave of your breath. And last 3 rounds, let's bring in an open mouth exhale, a big, deep sigh. Maybe even give your sigh a voice, your voice. Inhaling nice and slow, and then sigh it out. One more. Come back to a neutral spine and then come up, relax the wrists. And then we're going to come up to stand and do a few grounding techniques from a standing position. And one of my favorite ones for not only overwhelm, but also for anxiety is to interlace your hands. And then you place them on top of your head and you let there be a little bit of weight in your hands that you can feel like you're kind of wearing a hat with your hands, and then give your skull a little squeeze with the pads of your hands there. So fingers are interlaced and you're giving the head a little squeeze. And then notice the length of your spine, draw the tailbone down. Feet are as wide as the mat. So somewhere between your shoulders and your elbows, feet are pressing down. And then I want you to lift up into your toes, firm into your quads. So lift your kneecaps a little and really press down into the ground. And so you're going to feel that weight and that squeezing motion on the top of your head. And you're going to feel all of that connection in the soles of your feet. Relax the toes. And sigh it out. We're going to take about 10 sighing breaths here. So in through the nose and out through the mouth. Try to get deeper with the inhale each time. So deep into the belly opens, the bottom of the ribs open. And you exhale in a sigh, releasing stress, tension, and busyness. Eyes close, and let's take about 8 more. Go at your pace. Halfway through, take about 5 more. The more you believe in this process, the more it will help you and benefit you and help get you out of those feelings of too much. And one more. Drop your hands down.
Feet will come a little closer together, but not together. So about hip distance or so. And then a pretty deep bend into the knees so that you feel nice and comfortable here, not going into chair pose or anything, but just deeply bending your knees. And then as though you're trying to bring your belly to your thighs, even if you don't reach, I want you to fold forward. Somewhere you're going to want to stop. Maybe you put your elbows on your thighs. Maybe you're able to come down into a rag doll, dangling your arms down to the earth or holding opposite elbows. We'll take a few sighing breaths here as well. Relax your jaw. Notice where your feet are pressing into the earth and let your eyes close. Forward folds are fantastic for making the world smaller and taking things right off your to-do list. All you have to do here is breathe and sigh it out. Next, inhale. Come to a half lift. Hands press to the shins. Lengthen out through your spine. Straighten your legs. And take a breath here. As you exhale, soften your knees, and we're going to come on up to stand. Reach your arms up overhead. Stretch. And then pull your hands to your heart, palms pressing into each other and thumbs pressing into the sternum. Moving meditation with our breath now. Very simple half salutes, this way to be guided again by your breath, to only notice your breath and your movement and to feel that grounding under your feet, even as you reach and fold and stretch. So half salutes here. Feet can be very comfortably apart. Knees can be very comfortably bent the entire time. As you inhale, reach your arms up, look up, stretch up. And exhale, fold forward, belly comes toward the thighs, only come as far as is comfortable. Inhale to your half lift, hands to your shins or fingertips on the ground. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, all the way up, reach your arms. Exhale, pull your hands to your heart. We'll take a few like this. Inhale slowly, reach. Exhale and fold. Hold your spine safe. Half lift. And fold. Inhale up. And hands to your heart. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Half lift. And fold. All the way up. Hands to your heart. Two more, reach. And fold. Half lift. And fold. Inhale up.
Hands to your heart. And one more reach. And fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold and hold. Hold on to your ragdoll here, or maybe a stronger forward fold if your hamstrings are ready for it. Otherwise, be quite comfortable here. We're going for the quieting effect of a forward fold. If your hands reach, I want you to reach down to the ground. If they don't reach, maybe you're on you can use a chair and ground the palms of your hands down into something so that you have 4 points of contact, and just feel steady there. And walking out, we're going to come into downward dog on our way into child's pose. So pressing back into a child's pose. Again, find your favorite position, even just lay down onto the ground. And come back to that feeling of being weighted in all of the places that your body is touching the ground. Anchor in, get a little heavier, get a little bit more solid and connected. And breathe slowly and deeply. Listen to the sound of your breath. And as you're ready, we're going to come up and over. Find your blanket that you have next to you and give it a nice little roll. And then put it next to you. And then come on down, and we're going into grounding pose. So I also like to call this reverse child's pose, where you roll down to the earth and then hug your knees into your chest. You can use your hands on your shins, or maybe on your thighs, or maybe your arms just are on the ground as you pull your legs into your belly and into your chest. And soften through your jaw, let your eyes close, and bring that awareness again to all of the places where your body is resting on the ground. Feel your hips and the length of your spine, your shoulders and the back of your head resting heavily on the ground. So really trying to bring that feeling of anchoring in, almost as though your body is falling asleep. You're getting heavier as you sink in. And one more deep inhale. And exhale. Release your feet down to the earth, knees bent. And we're going to take our rolled up blanket. Now, if you're near a wall, we're coming into legs up the wall. If you're near a wall, please feel free to scooch on over and literally bring your legs up the wall, also up the bed, up the couch, anything where you can like bring your feet up. But the blanket is here to take the effort away. So I'm just going to take the blanket and bring it underneath your hips and drop the bottom of your hips down. So tailbone and SI joint right there into that roll of your blanket. And then I like to hold on to my blanket just because it feels nice. And the knees will come in and then legs will go up. And if you have the position of the blanket correct, this should feel fairly effortless, as though you could float here without too much difficulty for quite a long time. If you don't feel that support, come to your wall or your couch and bring your legs up. And then once you have this position figured out in your body, and knees can bend quite a bit if you'd like, I want you to notice now as the legs go up, how that helps to press the back of the body into the ground. So you're having this pressure into the spine and into the scapula, the shoulder blades, into the back of the head. Notice where your triceps are resting on the ground and your hands. And then relax your jaw, soften your eyes. And we're just going to breathe here. We're going to let the magic of reversing the blood flow and giving the body a different position. We're going to just focus on that magic here. And sigh it out, giving your sighs a voice. It's always nice to release tension. You might not even know you're holding it. And it might even feel nice to bring the arms up overhead, resting them on the ground or out into a T shape. We'll stay here for another moment or so. Just really try to sink in. And if you find your thoughts wandering, bring them back to your breath. And let's slow the breath down, inhaling for 6. And exhale 6, trying to bring the breath nice and equal. Listen to the sound as you inhale. And exhale. And as you're ready, slowly come down from your legs up the wall position. Move the blanket out from underneath you, but keep it handy in its little roll. We're going to use it one more time. But before that, Walk your feet out as wide as the mat and arms out into a T shape. Flip your palms down and notice once again all the places where your body is resting on the earth and become a little heavier there. And one more moving meditation with our breath. So letting the breath lead you. Inhale, center. When your exhale starts, knees will fall to the right in a twist. Face will go to the left. So as though you're wringing yourself out. And then when the inhale starts, you move back to center. And exhale, second side, legs left, head right. And just keep going here, moving and breathing as slowly as possible, controlling the breath, controlling the movement. And one more round to each side. And then come back to center. Hug the knees in one more time, grounding pose. Big open mouth exhale. We'll stretch out for a bit of a rest here in shavasana. So I want you to take your blanket. Maybe you have a bolster. That would be fine too. And we're going to bring a little bit of weight here to our chest and belly. So I've turned mine long ways. You can maybe turn yours sideways. If you have a bolster, that's always nice. And then I want you to give the blanket or bolster a little hug here as you stretch out. And actually before shavasana, let's bring our legs into bound angle pose here. So soles of the feet come together and knees go wide out. Let's take a moment just to enjoy the feeling of hugging the blanket into the chest. This weight on top of you while you concentrate on weighting the back of your body into the earth. This has a very calming and grounding effect on your nervous systems. So notice the breath again. We're not moving here, but keep that feeling that you're watching the breath come in and sinking in as it goes out. So release tension, release effort, sink in. And we'll pause here for about 10 rounds of breath. If you feel incredible comfort here, I invite you just to stay right here. You don't have to move a muscle. If you'd like, you can stretch those legs out long. Blanket can stay on your heart and belly as arms come down to your sides, or maybe you'll use your blanket to cover yourself for warmth. Something covering your eyes for Shavasana is a great way to keep the world quiet. That weight of a little pillow or scarf over the eyes can really help to keep the eyes soft and still and quiet, resisting that urge to open the eyes and look around and just take it in, take it inward, quieting in to the breath, noticing all the places that you're resting on the earth, this feeling of becoming very still and very calm. And follow the breath into the body and out. Just continually grounding the body down onto the mat in a physical way. Relax your jaw, relax your shoulders. Feel the weight of your arms resting heavily. Feel the weight of your legs resting heavily. And just allow yourself to drop into this place of stillness. Allow everything to soften. And if your thoughts are still racing, follow the breath in and follow the breath out. And start to deepen your breath. And before you start to move, just notice if you were able to bring the sense of absolute calm, steadiness into the body. This is something that we practice repeatedly. So even if you're feeling a little busy in your body or your mind still, that's okay. Just notice. And start moving fingers and toes, bringing that energy back into the body. And stretch your arms and legs. And then hug your knees to your chest, grounding pose. Then roll on over to your right side. And then press on up into a seated position. Pulling your hands to your heart in a gesture of gratitude. And as always, this gratitude is for yourself for showing up and taking care. Self-care in the form of gentle breathing and gentle movements like this are truly magic and medicinal. So have this feeling of gratitude that you had this time to dedicate to your health and well-being. And we'll end here with the sound of 3 ohms. You can sing along with me or just listen. Inhale deeply. Om. 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 Thank you for taking the time to take care of yourselves today. Namaste.